goes like,
Now that right there is profound symbolism. A replica Statue of Liberty in Guaíba, Brazil, in a McDonald's parking lot coming crashing to the ground after vicious winds in that city of Guaíba. And again, that's what's going on with the United States of America right now. Even Donald Trump is posting yesterday on his social media platform a dumpster fire with the numbers 2020. Donald, you were in office during that dumpster fire. But if that was a dumpster fire, what's going on right now in 2025 is a nuclear dumpster fire. Unfortunately, though, the American people have had enough, and Donald Trump's approval is sinking to the lowest, and it is the lowest in modern presidential history. Talking about dumpster fire, earlier yesterday and during a press conference, Donald Trump attacks Rob Reiner and Reiner's wife, Michelle, who were both viciously murdered, with the main suspect being their son, who was addicted to drugs. And Donald Trump used that as an opportunity to attack the individuals who were murdered within just hours of the murder. So utterly sickening. But as we talk more about the dumpster fire that is the Trump regime, let me talk about some stories that may not have been getting as much attention. But before doing that, let me just remind you, hit subscribe and help us get to 6 million subscribers here on the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. As you know, we are under attack by the Trump regime and state regime media known as Fox. They want to shut us down. Just double check that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. So yesterday we learned as well that Jared Kushner dropped his plan to build a Trump hotel in Serbia. It was a deal to redevelop a site bombed by NATO. And ultimately it was festering in this corruption as a cabinet member in Belgrade in Serbia was arrested, and this entire project was defined by just ridiculous amounts of corruption. 2 years and utter failure. Take a look at this photo of what it was supposed to look like, and here is what it actually looked like from the Bloomberg Post right there. Dumpster fire. Speaking of a dumpster fire, you had Pete Hegseth, the former Fox Weekend host, who's now unlawfully calling himself a Secretary of War. This guy just announced that we just murdered 8 more people in boats, this time off the Eastern Pacific, and Pete Hegseth bragging about more war crimes being committed in our name. I think the way Matt Novak describes it as this: people often take issue when I say we committed war crimes, we killed these people. And he goes, but I think it's important to phrase it that way. This isn't what I want. It's not what I voted for, but it's what's being done in our name. What else is being done in our name? The horrors from coast to coast, from sunny weather to winter weather, ICE and Border Patrol brutalizing people in the United States, torturing people, sending human beings to concentration camps, pounding and brutalizing pregnant women on the ground. Let me just show you what happened. First, I'll take you to Amherst in New York, not all that far from where I grew up. And an Amherst resident posted this video of what appears, as J.D.L. Schumacher explains, joint ICE FBI raids of a roofing crew working on their house. A roofer is tackled to the ground and arrested, and then a gun is pulled on the workers. Roofers who were working on construction while we have a construction crisis, an affordability crisis, when people aren't able to afford homes and our economy is suffering. This is what they're doing. Here, play this clip.
We got a fight up front.
What's going on?
And then you go to South Minneapolis, Minnesota, where ICE has invaded and Border Patrol has invaded, and they violently detained a pregnant woman and shoved her face down into snow, kneeling on her back, suffocating a pregnant woman. Here, play this clip.
We made our way to the center of the crowd and found a woman being held face down on the ground. People were screaming to let her go.
We kept yelling, she's pregnant, she's pregnant, she's pregnant. They put their knees in her and we kept telling them, she can't breathe, let her up, let her up.
In the chaos, the woman who was handcuffed was suddenly being dragged by one arm as the angry crowd threw snowballs and screamed at the federal agent.
Now, while all this is taking place, Donald Trump is sending the following message to his supporters on his email list. I subscribe so you don't have to subscribe. This is a real message. This is not AI. Donald Trump writes yesterday, I'm alone and in the dark, but I know you are still by my side. That's a real email that Trump is sending to his cult. And he says the following with this weird AI image of himself. Some people are saying, this is sad. I'm sitting here alone in the war room fighting for you. The rest of the staff went home hours ago. It's just me, one dying laptop and a countdown clock to my urgent mid-month deadline. If we don't crush my urgent mid-month deadline tonight, the radical left flips the House and Senate in 2026 and finishes what they started. Open borders forever, your guns confiscated, your kids brainwashed. And worst of all, your favorite president, me, might just go through another fake impeachment. I'm dead serious. Miss this goal and the MAGA movement crumbles. But if you rush just $47 right now, in the next 30 minutes, I'll personally send you a red MAGA hat Christmas ornament. But that's nothing compared to losing the country. This is it. No second chances. And when you click the button, it makes you give him money. That's a real email. I mean, can you get any more objectively pathetic and weak than that guy? I just don't think you can. It's utterly, utterly pathetic. Now, as Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are out there trying to show how tough they are by committing these war crimes off the coast of Venezuela and in the Pacific, as Donald Trump acts like a tough guy, laundering Russia's plans of surrender for Ukraine, as Ukraine and Europe are standing strong against this despicable Trump regime. New audio has been released from a pilot who suggests that the military jet that Trump ordered to the Caribbean almost crashed into the JetBlue flight that was near Venezuela. That entire region, in addition to the war crimes, has these fighter jets flying around without even announcing their presence. Watch as the pilots of the JetBlue plane talk about what went down. Here, play this clip.
There's new audio in this morning after a crazy near mid-air collision. A JetBlue flight leaving the small Caribbean nation of Curacao en route to New York had to abruptly stop its ascent to avoid colliding with a U.S. Air Force plane. The JetBlue pilot spoke to air traffic control basically as this played out. Just listen to this.
We almost had a mid-air collision up here. Traffic passed directly in front of us within 5 miles of us.
And you want to talk about tone deaf? You want to talk about dumpster fire? At Mar-a-Lago, they are auctioning off right now, this was yesterday, last night, a luxury handbag valued at thousands of dollars while the American people starve, while healthcare is being ripped away. At least Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. Donald Trump says, screw them all. Screw them all. Play this clip.
The gentlemen, only one or two in existence, lining of luxurious micro suede, proudly made in the USA.
And then you have the Trumpettes founder, Toni Holt Kramer, one of the OG Trumpers. But she says we shouldn't be talking about politics anymore. So she created this video and said, let's stop talking about politics. Here, let's play this clip right here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Toni Holt Kramer, founder, president of Trumpets USA, but not going to talk to you about politics. I think we all need a change, something new. How about talking about the new rage, which is mature women with younger men.
Now, while this is what's going on in Mar-a-Lago land, in the real world, the UK, Germany, France, others in Europe are preparing for World War III. In an extraordinary blunt intervention, the Telegraph writes, UK's Air Chief Marshal Sir Richard Knighton warned that Russia's military strength is increasing and is something to fear, with Russian troops now battle-hardened, ready for a full-scale war. And this head of the military says, the head of the Air Chief Marshal says, the situation is more dangerous than I have known in my career, and the price of peace is rising. The head of the Royal Air Force added, families and households across Britain need to know the range of physical threats, and nation sons and daughters must be ready to fight in World War III. And as all hell is breaking loose right now across this country and the world as a result of Donald Trump's failures, with a mass shooter from Brown University on the loose who killed 2 students this past weekend, as this account says, where is FBI Director Kash Patel? Is he coordinating a manhunt in Rhode Island? No, he and his country singer young girlfriend are talking about Israel and their relationship on a podcast hosted by Katie Miller, the wife of White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Play this clip.
We are so excited to be joined by Kash and his beautiful girlfriend, Alexis. So I just want to clarify, you're not Jewish.
I'm not.
You are not from Israel.
No.
So how did we get to, are you a Mossad agent?
You know, that's a great question.
Where's her ring? Just to clarify, how often has he traveled to see you since January 20th? Has there been one moment where you're like, you can't make this up?
I'll leave you with this. You have Lindsey Graham blaming the terrorist attacks at Bondi Beach on Biden and Obama. This is how pathetic they are. All they know how to do is blame things on Biden and Obama. Play this clip.
Obama and Biden have a lot to do with this. I blame the terrorist, but Obama allowed ISIS to come about when he withdrew from Iraq. Trump destroyed the caliphate, killed Soleimani, and got out of the Iran nuclear deal. And the dumbass Biden, the biggest dumbass on the planet, withdrew from Afghanistan, obliterated our borders, and rejoined the Iran nuclear agreement, making the Ayatollah flush with cash. And you're wondering what we're dealing with. Trump had him in a box. He killed Soleimani, the chief architect of terrorism in Iran. He destroyed the caliphate. He had him in a box. We had the Abraham Accords where people were recognizing Israel, and dumbass Biden comes along and tears it all up. And now we're fighting these bastards again.
But do you remember when Lindsey Graham said the following about Biden? If you can't admire him, well, here's what he says. Play this clip.
If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation.
There you have it, folks. We've got a lot of other videos this morning. Keep checking back every 90 minutes and help us hit 6 million subscribers if you can. We're heading there. We're close. Let's try to get there. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.